What's going on, folks? Mr. Overman just got finished watching an episode of Martin, you're the man. So what is going on? Hope everybody out there is doing good and great and amazing. Yes, I'm live on a big old Saturday. Schedules change, so we change with it, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. It's interesting. I went out earlier. We got a little something to eat. We were gonna go to our favorite breakfast spot, and we noticed that it was closed. And with that said, most people be like, well, like I know years ago that like maybe years ago, smaller town that would have I live in a bigger city, but years ago, smaller town that would have been a big thing. It's like, oh my god, let's call it, I don't know, Mikey's. Like, oh my good man, Mikey's has been there for 30 years, and I can't believe Now it's like these places closed, restaurants and I don't know, it's department stores, businesses. They're really closing in left and right, and talking about more or less here in America. So I'm talking about, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, folks. So I'm talking about more or less here in America. How things are drastically changing, and how they say what's good for the gander is always, sometimes it ain't good for the goose. So it's like people had this plan. It's like, okay, we're gonna put this individual here. It's gonna rise us up. It's gonna crap on the other people. But one of the ramifications of that is like, whoa, wait a minute, it's like a Ponzi scheme. It's like you give some. It's like somebody says, hey, I can take your money and you know make it go like 5 times, 10 times, whatever. Get your investment back to you in a short amount of time. You're like, wow, that's amazing, and they're showing you all of the stuff of how they've done it and the success they had and this and that, and you give them your money, and then it's like the money disappears, they disappear, and you're sitting there. You're like, so the times that we're living in now, we are living in very unconventional times call for unconventional methods. So if you are not someone who is, it's you really have to move different out here. You really do. It's interesting because it's like what it's interesting. It's almost like any good news that you have, all of any good stuff that you have that's going on in your life. It's almost like you just keep it to yourself these days. You don't share it. It's almost like the society that we're living in. It doesn't thrive on good news. It doesn't thrive on you doing well. People jealousy and all that stuff. Not your problem, but mostly theirs. But just look for the stuff that you have been, praying about, meditating, manifesting, all that good stuff. And if you more or less walk on the spiritual side, look for those things to come in more unconventional means, unconventional ways, and look for those things to really just start to pop and manifest, naturally, like out of look for those things to like pop, and look for those things to pop and like manifest like out of nowhere, and this is good and great and amazing for your life, because the important thing is, for you and yours to win. That's the main thing. It's like if you have anything of discerning eyes and you can see around you, it's like you can kind of see Rome burning. It's like you can you can hold your hand, like if an oven is really hot, you know what I mean? You can kind of touch it and see, like, okay, well, that's hot, and you see fire, not to go into that, and I don't, you don't know, like, You just don't want to run like in that direction. So you just remember that this is your life. This is the path that has been chosen for you, that you have chosen. And somebody just saw a post and somebody was saying that how your career that you choose defines your life. And it really, it's like it's almost like being typecasted in a sense. It's almost like, okay, well, I am that, and that's what it's like it's like the show Family Matters with Jaleel White. It's like that's all people ever see him. Even he's done other acting stuff, but it's like he did that role so well, and for so many years, there's so much success. They always see him as Steve Urkel, or they always see him as I forgot the Stefan Urkel, but he's always like intermingled. I was looking for my water. It's all good though, but he's always like intermingled and mixed in with that. Just to say that your career is what oh well, hey, there's John the architect, or there's I don't know, there's Stephanie, the clerk that works down at the court, or hey, there's I don't know, there's Steve, the guy that works at the gas station guy. It's like that's kind of how people like to box you. But if that's your career, if you a lot of people live, die, and breathe on that, that's important to them. I know, like where the city I live in now, the career, that's what people, that's what they do, that's what they thrive in. That's well, I'm such and such, and I'm the such and such at such and such, and that's their thing. It's how it that's how it works for them. But some of us have the ability, and some of us have been fortunate enough to do like multiple things out here, and we're creative, and we can go in, we can do like multiple things out here. So, and we're not condensed in this little box. So that's where your life is growing massively. You're not going to be able to condense it. Whoever, whatever, wherever. You're not gonna. It's like one income stream is blocked. You got 20 others to look forward to. One it. Out of one, let's say e pluribus unum, out of many one. So it's like you're coming to that point of where you're going to have a lot. You're going to be able to delve into a lot. You're going to have a lot more opportunities. It's like things out here are really, things are, it's almost, how can I describe it? It's like having an hourglass. It's like the hour, the sand in the hourglass comes down and you flip it. It's almost like the people at the top, their time is running out. They can feel it. They really and truly can feel it, because we are we're past the eight ball. We're really, if you really pay attention to what people are talking about here now, we're the people who you would say who would wear like the tinfoil hats and talk about life on other planets, or the other life in the universe, what's in the all of these different things. And you might say, oh, that's crazy. It's just life is just about I don't know, working and kids and paying your bills and dying. That's life, man. And nothing happens after that. There's no afterlife. There's nothing. Just because somebody says that doesn't mean that there's nothing else beyond this. Because eternity, eternity is this thing that just goes on and on and on and on. So it's like your mindset. Like if you have an open mind, if you really and truly have an open mind about things, like no doubt. When I religion for me, it was like you learn about God, Jesus, heaven, angels, and prophets of the Bible, and this and that. But nobody ever said like what if that Bible, what if that's your lineage? What if that's your heritage? That they're talking about. Nobody ever said that. They never went like in depth, and that's a conversation for another day. But you when you walk this path, when you walk this journey, you start to discover things. You start to come to some realizations. You start to see. I was watching a clip from the Matrix movie, and the way Morpheus was describing it, it was like, you're in this simulation, but you still have control. But the thing is, it's like you have all of these things that'll distract you. Even like even social media can be a distraction. Maybe you have something, a goal or something. You're like, you know what? What's going on, Miss Sweet? How are you? So maybe you have a goal. You're like, I'm gonna go and I'm off today. Let me go work out, or let me go. I don't know. Let me. I said I was gonna go on this side of town and check this out and blah blah blah. You say, man, maybe I'm gonna go to the library, do some research on this and that, and something comes up in your mind. You just start scrolling social media. We get lazy. We get lethargical, and that's what you do. And like 8 hours pass. Just scrolling videos. Like little 20, 30 second videos, and that was your day. And that's what you choose to do. But what is happening is, I'm just gonna say that all of the bad things that are, if you see it as bad, it's probably gonna be great for you. All of the bad things that are happening, it's gonna be great for you, and it's gonna be massively great for you. For you to because we're in a time where it's we're not in a time of make believe anymore. We're not in a time of make believe. We're in a time of real. I told somebody, I said, I never thought in my lifetime that stuff that I would see like in the movies on TV, I would start to see these things in real time. Like the 2020, the pandemic, and people having all these massive spiritual awakenings. All of everything, like these celebrities and all these people, like people who we saw and doing this and doing that, and people like, oh, they're the greatest of all time. All these people just checking out of here. Like check just like here today, gone tomorrow. But one thing about greatness, it's going to continue to rise. So now it's like, now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to go for it, no matter the whatever. Right. This is we are beyond the point of no return. So there's no denying. Especially like with me in my life. I know that a God is real. I know that angels are real. I know that there's an afterlife. I know that there are ancestors and so many other things that I have, seen and witnessed, like with my own two eyes. So for me personally, I cannot deny these things. Everything you said is what I'm hearing and seeing. Right. So it's like, and even for people who are non-believers, for them to truly believe, it's like people who for non-believers, these things would have to happen to them, and they'd be like, oh, that was weird, and then they'll wake up And they'll be like, "Oh man, that was a weird dream," and then they'll go to the kitchen and see like the kitchen was destroyed, just like what happened in the dream. And maybe they're like, "Oh, maybe I just was asleep," but they'll come up with excuse and excuse and excuse and excuse. But it's just, yeah, it's just, and everything is important, not to like I'll never go online and argue and be like, well, this point in history was greater and we need to focus on that. No, all of it was important. When Jesus was here, when our ancestors were in Egypt, all of those, hundreds and thousands and thousands of years, what happened in Africa, what happened here, what happened with, our native ancestors, all of that stuff is important. All of it. So it's an amalgamation of all of all of that stuff. Serious. Yeah, like very, very true. So all of that stuff is very much so I'm trying to think of the word, vehemently important. Yeah, so man, all of that stuff is important, but even the government now, they're like, like, yeah, aliens are real. Hey, what, we can't hide it anymore. We can't really hide it anymore. And this stuff has been happening behind the scene for decades. Not probably hundred. All of these old civilizations, with their carvings and the stones and all of that stuff, they leave that here so their ancestors would know. They leave that here. The stories of not Stonehenge, but that I can't Atlantis. Like Atlantis predated Egypt. With a lot of from what I've heard in my research, a lot of those Atlanteans, they went into Egypt and so on and so forth. But so the ancestry is bold. The ancestry is vast. It's not just about especially for us as so-called African Americans. It's not just that our ancestors were bondage and chained and all of that good stuff. If you follow the Hebrews of the truth of the Bible, we are always in some kind of discourse. We're always some kind of war. When we disobeyed, God punished us. He accepts us back. We punish us. He accepts us back. Great men fall. Great men. Great men fall. Great. Fall. The rise and the fall, just like the sun and the moon. It's just, it's the tale older than time. But it is just naturally time for you to get up, to rise up, to continue to do what you're doing, and to continue to do it boldly. And that's just that's just where we are. We move quietly. We move like what's her name? I don't know. They call her Black Moses. Through the Underground Railroad. We move like that. We move quietly, but we move quickly. We have to understand who your enemies are. Sometimes we can be our worst enemy by letting the cat out the bag a little too early. Because like you you and your friend, y'all have been unemployed for so long. You get a big, email. They want to fly you out. All these great things are happening for you. Um, all of these great things are happening for you, and then what in the world is this? Yeah, so these great things are happening for you, or something happens for you, and some cousin or some family member is like, well, how did this person get to do this? And they remember you from, I don't know, 20 years ago as this and that, and and they were supposed to be the chosen one of the family, and you rise up and you move forward, and you rise up and you become that chick, you become that dude. of the family, of the bloodline. No, I'm thinking about wrestling, but you're the chosen. You are the chosen one of your bloodline. Be one of God's chosen. That is something. Whew, that is something so massive, like really and truly is something, and only a few can claim that. There's I'll say in life to the spiritual thing. There's levels to this. Not everybody is gonna be a famous this or whatever. But whatever it is that you are chosen to do in this lifetime, you go forward and you be the greatest and you be the best at it. That's where that's what it is, and that's where we are. If you're telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to move and do this and do that, you prepare yourself, you prepare your mind to go forth and to go do that. We are in unconventional times where miracles are going to be just popping out of the woodworks, and it may not even look. It may come to you. May come to you in a dream, may come to you in an idea. Somebody may bring it to you in an opportunity. You may get a strange email. You may get a somebody to follow you on LinkedIn and say like, man, it's just something about you. I have this opportunity. Just wanted to run it by you, and I feel like you have the skill set for this, and there you go. Bada boom, bada bang. You're off to the races. Like really, you're like you're like this. You're like this horse that's winning every race for like the last 5 years, and it's like people are like, man, where'd you come from? And they're gonna be saying like overnight success and blah 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 blah, and it's like, no, I've been on this journey for a while now. I started and I quit. I started and I quit, and I started and I quit. I tried it this way. I tried it that way. I've tried this. I've tried that. And I'm thankful that for me that I have the skill set to try those different things and so on and so forth. But here we are now. For you, for you. Okay, yeah. So here we are now for you in your life, in your journey, and the decisions are like there are that you have to make, whatever that is, and whatever that is, and naturally, whatever that looks like. I said earlier that people people in their careers, like if somebody becomes a doctor, somebody becomes a lawyer, or I don't know, an accountant, or an architect, or whatever it is, they're a security guard for 30 years, and that's what they're going to be remembered as. It's like, oh yeah, that's John, the security guard. We saw him every day as we were driving to work. That's what they did. That's, I don't know, that maybe that was just their choice, or I don't know, but just to say that you're bigger than that, though. You're bigger than your title. You're bigger than your title, and their entitlement is not your problem, your issue. Because there are going to be people that are just going to want to be around you, just for the sake of just saying, like, in the world of celebrity, like when Prince was around, it was like everybody had this Prince story of like, oh, me and Prince did this, we did that, and we love his music. Some of us, we miss him, but so everybody had the story, and it's going to be almost like that, for some of us, like everybody's gonna want to be around you, because they see you like, wow, this person's a winner, and like I said, very unconventional. Like you didn't grow up with the silver spoon. You didn't have all of the advantages. It's like people, like the kids say, you got it out the gutter or the mud, so to speak. So it's almost like you took reality itself and shaped it into something. It was between God and you and your ancestors and all of that. And your sheer will to just continue to move forward. Like nobody ever did it before. Yes, people go to school. Yes, people invent and create and do all of these things. Yes, it's happened before. It's probably going to happen. It's probably happening right now at this moment. Somebody is creating something amazing. It's just how it goes. But for you were able to create this. People are just gonna ask and wonder, like, how did you create, this amazing life? You were what's going on with CJ Inspires? Like, you were divorced and you were this and you were laying in the hospital bed, and nobody thought, and this and that. And could you have ever imagined in your wildest dreams that you would be here, doing this, going on this book tour around the country, around the world, and back again. And people love, they just love you for you just being, who you are. And that is going to be a great, that's going to be a great part to your story. But beautiful thing is that it's it's just naturally getting started. That's the thing. It is just naturally. But just remember, unconventional, like, ways of things are coming, because it's not coming conventionally. It's not going to look how we can picture something in our imagination. Like, we can picture a life that we would love to have. The house, the land, investments, great health, the way our the perfect body to us, and this in the amazing friendships. The beautiful thing is that in your faith and your prayer and your belief, it's gonna be so much greater than so much greater than all that. So much that we had to go through. I'm not one to just sit and talk about oh, God's gonna bless you and God told me to tell you. I'm not that dude. Never will be. That's just not me. God can speak to you just like He spoke to me, for real. And all that. And like I said, it's very unconventional. It's just like, do you trust me? And I'm like, yes. And you continue to walk down the path, and you're like, I think I'm going the right way. I hope I'm going the right way. And that thinking and that hope turns to knowing, and you're like, okay, all right, I get it. I know what I need to do. I just need to continue to work and prepare and do, because that day will come. I hear it so many, like, I hear it in pro sports. The NBA guys make it there, and they work so hard to get there, and when they get there, they're like, they get the money, and they don't treat it like they treated before they got there. It's like, you get the person in your life, you're like, oh, I want to be in love, and this person comes in, and you don't treat them like, it's like, y'all still got to go out and be playful and support each other, and that's just how it works. Yes, you both grow, but you're supposed to, like, grow together. You're not supposed to grow apart, but that happens. But that is what it is. That really, and that really and truly is what it is. Every story is different. Everybody's like, I get on social media and I see people talk crazy about, the first time I went to this significant other person's home, and so on and so forth. And it's not like how, these are people that probably don't want to even be, around themselves. But like I said, it comes in unconventional ways, unconventional circumstances. That's going to lift you up, take you so high. It's going to be a wave, man. It's good. It is going to be a wave of emotion. They're like, wow, I can't believe, it's like, man, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, you now, in that moment, in those moments, all of those great things that are going to leave you with, like, your mouth open, like hitting the floor, in the sense of it, so. Yeah, but things are changing. A lot of stuff is wrapping up. Like I said, stuff is flipping. The hourglass is flipped. So it's your time is now. Like that song says. Things are gonna shift quickly. Not much longer now. Like, really and truly. So be bold out here. You know, as you're continuing to move. So it's not just like, oh, cool. I've got my. I went to school. I've done this. I've got my associates, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, whatever, and you just kind of sit and be lazy. And it's like, oh, it's just like I said, the people in, the guys in the NBA, I hear the stories, they get there. I don't know, it's like that. They don't work as hard. Somebody comes in more, you're around the best in the world. You are. Somebody comes in, takes that spot. Somebody comes in, takes that spot, just like that. Within a blink of an eye. That's how things are going to be happening and shifting in your life. Things are going to be happening and moving within a blink of an eye. You be like, I've been on this journey. I've been on this search for like, man, stay away from naysayers, stay away from doubters. Try not to get stuck in your mind, because I was like that. I was that person. I all through depression and all of that craziness. I went through that. I'll be stuck in my mind. I'll be stuck on the sofa, and it's almost like I couldn't move. It's almost like a 500-pound person was sitting on my head, and I just couldn't figure out, the smallest little thing. I get trying to go back to school, get a bad grade. I just be like, like out of it. Like, man, I don't, I was just, it was weird, man. Just, sometimes we'll be in very weird, spaces and places. But your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. But, just know that it comes in shifts and waves and the secret places that you are going to be like snatched up and brought to, and all of these different things. It's going to be amazing. It's really and truly going to. It's really and truly going to be amazing. Watch the company that you keep. So watch the company that you keep. Company that you keep is sometimes the company that you keep is sometimes the company that keeps you. So these are people, or certain people that have put you in certain circumstances that you just didn't want to be in. Well, thank you. These are just circumstances that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, but you'll be seeing more of me, on here, and, I'll be, I'll make a new schedule and all of that stuff, come up with topics, and we'll continue to talk about it. But if you see this after the fact, don't forget to subscribe, and, thank y'all for hanging out and on this Saturday. But y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I'm going to enjoy the rest of Monday and the rest of this weekend, and so on and so forth. But just remember that, greater things are coming for you. So, greater things are coming. So do not forget that, because you're going to look, it's almost like you're going to look at the wheat field in a sense, and you're going to be like, all of this is for me. So it's like your harvest is going to blossom and bloom, and you're going to look, and it's going to be so vast that you're not going to be able to see the end of it. I mean, you're not going to be able to see. You're going to see the beginning of it, but it's going to be so vast that you can't see the end of it. And I'll just leave you with that. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, ladies and gentlemen. I myself I'm an author. Don't forget to follow Miss Tarot and She's doing amazing things on her channel. Miss CJ Inspire. She's doing amazing things on her channel. And don't forget to follow, Mr. Soul of a Man 504 on this channel as well. So. But yeah, but all right, yeah, but that's it, y'all. I am out of here. I'll probably back on here tomorrow, after I rest up and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna holler at y'all, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. But as always, peace.